He had worked at the prestigious Hamilton School of Arts for nearly 20 years, sweeping marble floors, emptying trash cans, and scrubbing away the fingerprints from the glass doors students barely noticed. To most, Mr. Clark was just the janitor, a quiet older man in worn shoes and a faded cap who never missed a day of work. But what nobody knew was that every evening, after the building emptied, Mr. Clark would pause by the grand Steinway piano in the corner of the music hall. He never touched it. He just stood there for a moment, letting the silence wrap around him like a memory, until one Thursday evening, the piano room door had been left ajar. Mr. Clark, after finishing his usual cleaning rounds, stood again in front of the instrument. His eyes traced the curves of the polished wood, the ivory keys gleaming under the dim light. Something tugged at him that night, something deep and aching. Glancing around and hearing nothing but silence, he gently lifted the cover and sat down. His fingers trembled at first, then settled. The melody that followed was nothing short of magic, tender, soulful, a composition born from years of quiet suffering and love long gone. The notes told a story only music could carry. Mr. Clark wasn't just playing, he was pouring his soul into each chord, each pause, each trembling breath. What he didn't realize was that he wasn't alone. Samantha Greer, the school's star pianist and the daughter of a tech billionaire, had returned to grab her forgotten sheet music. She had opened the door silently, expecting an empty room, but froze as she saw the janitor playing her piano. Her first instinct was to scold him. No one but students were allowed to touch the instruments. But then she listened. What she heard shattered every prejudice she held. The emotion in the music moved her in a way no polished recital ever had. This wasn't about technique. It was about heart. And in that moment, the line between rich and poor student and janitor faded. When Mr. Clark finished, he turned and gasped, his face flushing with shame. "I'm sorry, miss, I didn't mean to." But Samantha said nothing. She simply walked over, eyes still wet with tears, and sat beside him on the bench. For a moment, they both just stared at the keys. Then, without a word, she began playing a harmony alongside his melody. It was the start of something no one expected. The next morning, the story spread through the school like wildfire. Samantha had posted a clip of their duet, captioned, "Talent doesn't wear a uniform. Humanity lives in all of us." Within hours, the video went viral, but the story didn't end there. Samantha used her platform to launch a scholarship fund, not just for students, but for support staff who had long been overlooked. Mr. Clark was the first recipient. It turned out he had once been a prodigy himself, having studied music in his youth, until life's hardships forced him to give up his dreams to care for his ailing mother. When Samantha invited him to perform with her at a major charity gala, the crowd gave them a standing ovation, not just for the music but for the story behind it. In a world so often divided by status and wealth, it took a quiet janitor and a rich girl's open heart to remind everyone of the power of kindness and the music that connects us all. Sometimes the greatest talents are hidden in the quietest corners, and sometimes all it takes is one act of humanity to change a life forever.